When faced with a big decision, what do you normally do? If you're like most people, you will probably make a list of pros and cons, maybe spend a lot of time obsessing about decisions that did not work out, or get caught in analysis paralysis, and endlessly seek other people's opinions just to find that little bit of extra information that might give you certainty, and finally go with your gut. There is actually a better way to make quality decisions that enables you to think clearly, second-guess yourself less, feel more confident, and ultimately be more decisive, and as a result be more productive. Making good decisions does not have to be an endless series of guesswork. Rather, it is a teachable skill that anyone can improve. In How to Decide, best-selling author and former professional poker player Annie Duke lays out a series of tools that anyone can use to make better decisions. Here are the top 7 lessons from Annie Duke's How to Decide. Lesson 1. Know what resulting is. We generally tend to look at outcomes of our decisions to determine whether a decision was bad or good, rather than looking at the process that led to that decision. This is what the author calls resulting. In reality, though, luck plays a role in every decision. Lesson 2. Understand hindsight bias. Hindsight bias occurs when we attempt to recall what we already know and how we felt when we made a decision. It is nearly impossible to accurately reconstruct these things after the fact, when we already know the outcome. Markers of this thinking are things like, "I knew it all along," or "I should have known." Keeping a journal of our decisions, or writing down what we already know when we make the decision, is one way of countering this. We can read it later and help you remember more accurately. And we also need to understand the decision multiverse. We need experience to learn, but individual experiences can often interfere with learning. Lesson 3. Learn about the 3 Ps: preferences, payoffs, and probabilities. In order to make better decisions, we must identify all the possible options for our decision, identify the possible outcomes within each option, identify our preference for each, estimate the likelihood of each option, assess the relative likelihood between the outcomes of each option, and compare the options and then decide. We shouldn't forget that the payoffs of each option and outcome can be things other than money. It could be happiness, time, self-esteem, and etc. The downside of pros and cons lists is that they don't take into account the magnitude of the upside or downside, which in reality is very critical. The main tool to improve our decisions are turning stuff we don't know into stuff we do know. In other words, be more informed. The willingness to guess is also essential to good decision-making. It forces us to ask why we think we know it and how much we really know. Lesson 4. Understand the power of decision and turn decisions outside in. A common problem when making decisions with others is we use terms like probably, but have different areas of what that term means in terms of probability. The best way to communicate probability is to assign a specific number with a range associated with it. For example, I estimate 70%, with a lower bound of 30% and an upper bound of 90%. That range gives other people a better understanding of how certain that estimate is. And note that it is a reasonable range, not a guaranteed one. We suffer from all sorts of biases because we view the world from our own experience, perspective, and knowledge. One way to counter this is by looking at the base rate, or the overall probability that applies to a particular situation. The other way is to seek varying opinions from others for different perspectives. Lesson 5. Break free from analysis paralysis. The key to making faster decisions is by understanding what the cost is for making a bad decision. If the cost is low, then we should go fast. If the cost is high, we should go slow. One way to help assess this is to project ourselves into the future. Will you still care about the outcome of this decision tomorrow, in a week, or in a year? We can also decide faster by asking ourselves, if this was the only option I had, would it make me happy? If yes, make the decision and move on. Another good question to ask ourselves, if I pick this option, what would it cost me if I quit? Lesson 6. Realize the power of negative thinking. We can improve our chances of accomplishing a goal by time traveling to different futures and imagining what got us there. First, we conduct a pre-mortem. We imagine ourselves having failed and what caused it. This is a great way to encourage others to speak up and helps identify obstacles. Next would be to do a backcast. We imagine ourselves having just succeeded and imagine what got you there. And then we commit to doing the things that will increase our chances of success and prepare us for a better reaction when things go south. Planning ahead will help us avoid reacting emotionally. Lesson 7. Have a proper decision hygiene. We should avoid telling someone our opinion before asking them theirs, because it will surely bias their opinion. If in a group we must get opinions from team members individually first, then we can share those opinions with the group. Making anonymous individual feedback can also help elicit better feedback, and will likely prevent groupthink. And we must be careful how we present the background information for the decision as well. This can affect the feedback we get. In conclusion, through engaging thought experiments and interactive exercises, this book helps us analyze key decisions we've made in the past and troubleshoot those we're making in the future. Are you good with decision making? Let us know in the comments section. Thank you for listening. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on my new content. You can also get a free copy of the audiobook by clicking the link in the description. Until next time.